Hello again. Something really strange has been going on with my watch. Normally I have it to control the videos so I can see on my watch what the viewers can see. But yesterday when I made the video, for some reason on my phone the image was the right size, but on my watch and on the video itself it was like from outer space. So I'm trying it today without my watch. I hope it's right, because I had such a job trying to edit it to get it to a reasonable size that by the time I did, the picture quality was not half as good as it could be. So anyway, I'm just going to make a quick card today with a couple of Gummiapan dies. I've got 3 tables. I cut out 3 tables, and I've got a little die of an orchid and a pot. And I've just cut them. I've been playing around with colouring here, and I've just cut them from this piece of card. But to colour them in, it's really tricky with very, very small dies like this, to be able to hold them and colour them at the same time. So what I do is keep the piece of card that I've cut them from, take a piece of sticky tape, put it on the back, and I use regular sticky tape, not low tack. I found that low tack didn't have enough gripping power. And then I just pop the die cut back into the space from which it was cut. Okay, let's get this little tiny thing. It's so small, so tiddly. Put it on my magnet at the back so I don't lose it. So there's my pot and there's my orchid. So I'm going to colour these today with Inktense pencils. I coloured some tulips the other day with Inktense pencils and people seem to like the effect. I cut 3 out because I wasn't sure what the proportions would be of the pot and the flowers to the table. So that one is a possibility, I think. This one is a possibility, I think. Probably this one is a possibility too, but somehow I don't like that one quite so much. I don't know why. No reason, probably. But so it's one of these 2. I haven't used, I don't know if I've used this one before. I know I've used that one once. Let's do the long one. So I need to colour the long one. This is 2 thicknesses stacked together just for a bit of strength. So I need, that will fit, yes, that will fit on my card base. And I'm just going to colour these. The way I do it, I don't know if it's the accepted way or not, but the way I colour with these Inktense pencils is to add some colour to the image dry, and then use a brush and some water just to move that colour around. So I have got, this is Inktense Leaf Green, and funnily enough I'm colouring some leaves, who would know it? So I'm just putting a little colour onto the paper, just a little, and I'm going to move it around in a moment with a brush and some water. Okay, that was leaf green. I also picked up field green, and I thought I might just put a little extra colour in just to add a bit of interest, really. Okay, right, I think that's all I'm going to do for that. Let's just get a drop of water. I got a piece of paper towel just to dry it off a bit. I don't want it too splashy. And then I'm just going to wet that ink. It is ink. I think it's called Inktense pencils. It is ink. Wet it and move it around with my brush. Just going up the stems onto these little leaves here. More stems here, more tiny leaves. And then this is where I wanted to zoom in with my watch, but when I tried, normally I would roll the what do you call it, the dial thing, and it would come in, but nothing was happening. So I don't know if something is amiss. I probably need to turn it off and turn it on again. Not quite sure how to do that. I'll have to look it up on the internet. Okay, I'm going to add a bit more colour to that because I think it's lost a bit of definition. So I'm just going to put some tiny bits in, and the effect when you put it in onto wet card or damp card is very different from what you get when you put it onto dry. So I'm going to wet that again, just move it around, just blend in the edges just a trifle. There we go. A lot of my boxes that I've been storing things in, I've had little drawer things, units that I got from Poundland, and the plastic is all starting to disintegrate. So I've got another couple of things today. I'm not quite sure whether from Tonic, I'm not quite sure whether they're going to work out or not. Anyway, we will see. Now for violet, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit just in the centre, just a couple of kind of dotty things. I'm sorry this is not close up. I'm not quite sure how I do it now without my watch, but still. Anyway, clean my brush, give it a tap off, and just move that ink around just a little bit. There we go. This one I did very similarly. This one I inked all over and spread that colour out. So, you know, you can do whatever takes your fancy, whatever you think looks best. Okay, that will do for that. Now let's do the pot. And I'm just going to put a shadow on the left-hand side. A little colour on the right. Let's put a bit of this orange, just to give it a bit of warmth. A bit more on the right-hand side, maybe. Okay, let's try our brush. Give it a wash, give it a dab, and here we go. Doesn't matter about going over the lines here because it's not part of it. Not quite dark enough for me. Let's put some more down the left-hand side. There we go. Now I'm just going to push it right the way across. There we go. Keeping that sort of lighter area there, just for a bit of reflection. Okay. Now, just peel it out, come off the sticky tape. I will probably put a little tiny piece of foam tape behind that, just to keep its shape. Okay, what colour shall we do this table? What colour shall we have this? I think that's large enough to hold on to, really. Let's see what we've got here. Could do with it perhaps a deeper brown. Here's a really deep brown, this one. What's that called? Bark. Okay, that's a tree, isn't it? Let's do that. Put that down there. It almost looks green on here. Just colouring down one side and underneath, because that's where the majority of the colour will be remaining. And the shadows. Pressing a bit harder on this than I was on the other stuff. That there, there's a I don't know if you can see it, there's a line to indicate the end of the table, so I think they'll leave that lighter. You can always add a little colour just with what's on the paintbrush. Okay, let's try this. Put it over here. I'm going to have to investigate this watch business. I don't know what's going on. Didn't dry it off. and drag some of that over the top. So I've got a little colour on there. A bit under there too. Okay. Pull this down. Pull that down. A little bit over there. Pull it down again. Pull it. I need a bit more water. Pull it down. Drag. And this one. There we go. Just going to get a little bit of colour over there. There we go. I think that'll do for that. I don't want to smudge the card front, but perhaps see it against this white here. Yes, I think I need to just drag my brush over all of it. It looks too white. There we go. This looks really dark on here. I didn't think that the colour would be as dark as this, to be honest, from the colour on the end of the pencil. I haven't used these for a long time. There we go. I think that's good. Says she very, very, very nonchalantly. Right. That, and that. I think that will kind of do. I would like actually to make sure that this table is grounded a little bit. And what I often do is either just get a plain pencil and do a little bit of scribble as a shadow cast by the legs or whatever, or I use a stamp. I've got various, you know, mixed media-y type stamps, and these ones from Stamplerations are really good. There's, what do you call this stuff? Poppers. I can't think what you call it. You know, the packaging with the bubbles in. Bubble wrap, that's it. And cross-hatching. And this one, which is the one I've got in my hand, I find this really useful. And it's just kind of dots and a few lines and odds and ends, but it just gives that little bit of, you know, grounding to I think what do you put that way? That way, I think. And then put the table on the top. So anyway, we'll see. Let me just put a tiny bit of this just along the top there. I don't want too much. Just to raise it a little bit. Just along there. The rest I'll stick down. I think that'll do. Okay, now let me just stamp this and then we'll just assemble the card. It's quick as anything, but I've got to try and reorganise my shelves with the new little drawer things I've bought. Okay, and the colour for this, what should we do for this? I'm going to use a distress ink. I think I'll use Hickory Smoke. Hickory Smoke. Where's the Hickory Smoke? Here it is. Right. Here's my Hickory Smoke. I just hope to goodness that the focus is okay for this video. I just don't know what's happening at the minute. Right, there is my grounding. There is my table. I'll stick that on. Right, with a little of this glue. Just wondering if this is going to be strong enough. I might just put a dab or two of this. This is a slightly stronger glue. Right, let's get this onto the card. There we go. Oh, do you know what I haven't done? I haven't taken the back off this bit, have I? That was silly. Come on. There we go. There it is. Okay. There. Just hold that down. There we go. Good. Now the pot. I think I'll put a little bit on the back of my pot. Where's my... There we are. These pots have got a... If you want to put a plant into them, there's a little slit that you could slot your stems through. But as this one's got a whole bunch of leaves on there as well, I'm not going to bother with that. I'll just put a little... I don't know if it's going to even reach. I'm just going to put this onto that part of the table right here, so it looks as if it's actually sitting on there. Good-o. Now, it doesn't matter which of these I use, I don't suppose. Just put that one on there. Just wondering whether to add a second layer, actually, just to give it a bit more oomph. I've put that bit high, haven't I, with the shadow? Never mind. Never mind. We will. I'll just put some glue on. There we go. Yeah. There we are. That on there. And get well soon. Thinking of you. Happy birthday. Don't know what we're going to put, really. Could be anything, couldn't it, really? I'm cross I've left that a bit higher, because I may have to add a bit more in the way of dots or something, just to... Where's the pencil? It's about the same colour as the hickory smoke. There we go, that's better. That makes me feel better. So I will stick that down, a quick card, using some Gummiapan dies and some Inktense pencils. So as ever, thank you so much for watching, and I hope it wasn't too far away. When you're watching, you can obviously, on your device, make it a little bit closer if you wish to. All right, well, as ever, thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.